Would you still make YouTube videos if they didn't serve your business? That's the question we asked one of our clients who is a guitar teacher.
His answer was very clear. The only reason he was making YouTube videos is for the business. If it were just about sharing his art, he'd be fine never making another one.
But then he said something interesting next in our conversation. If YouTube becomes just business, it doesn't excite him either. And when it doesn't excite him, then the videos don't get made.
That's the tension so many online education business owners face. You want YouTube to serve the business, but you don't want your videos to become soulless marketing.
So in this video, we'll show you how we helped our client bring together the 3 identities his channel needed: educator, creator, and business owner. So his videos felt fun to make and had a clear job inside his business.
To start, we first need to look at what he believed how he had to show up on YouTube in order for it to work for his business.
So here is verbatim what he said in our call. If you want to do it right, then you need to start with a good idea and get your title and thumbnail and then kind of build the video around it. And just going at it from that way is just absolutely soul-sucking to me.
And this is the approach that almost all YouTube coaches out there teach. Find a thumbnail and title based on outliers that have performed well on other channels, more or less copy and paste the pattern and the structure and design overall, and create your own video to fit that thumbnail and title.
And we get it. Like, we went through that process. We did a coaching program that taught us this specific strategy, and we used it for our first online education business called Simple Germany. For some context, Simple Germany was created to help people move and settle in Germany. So we went ahead and did like some niche research, as people say, saw what was working in other channels, copied titles and thumbnails. And by following this process, we ended up with titles like this one: Moving to Germany is hard until you understand this. And as we had that title open on our Notion to write our outline for our script, we were left wondering, what could this be? What could be the biggest revelation for people moving to Germany? We honestly had no clue, even though we've been making content about this topic for 6 years. So by following this approach, we actually ended up scripting videos, but it felt really forced to do so, not really inspirational. And I could relate to what our client said. It started to feel soul-sucking.
Now, in all fairness, this approach gets taught because it works. It works if you are a 100% YouTuber, a creator, and you literally get paid for the views. Then, of course, emulating titles and thumbnails when you don't really have a message to teach, but just to entertain, works because you want the mass views. But we're not YouTubers. We're not 100% creators. We are educators and online business owners. We need a different approach, one that doesn't feel forced, caging, and paralyzing, one that doesn't take away the fun, but instead one that leaves room for new ideas and leaves room for our educator heart to shine.
Not only that, but I think as business owners, one of the biggest reasons why we started a business is to be independent and have freedom and have fun. And when we follow such advice, we put ourselves in a cage. And that's not the point, right? And the bottom line is that we don't depend on getting millions of views to pay the bills. We're not looking to reach the masses and be here a massive YouTuber that gets money through AdSense and sponsorships. On the contrary, we want to reach specific people, the people that we can actually help and serve with our business. And to do that, we need to approach things differently.
So that means that we have 3 identities within ourselves that we actually need to let shine at different stages of the process in order to serve the business, but also serve ourselves.
And those 3 identities are educator, creator, and business owner. And the last one, meaning the business owner, is the one that both for our client and for us for the longest time was the longest or the hardest one to actually accept and embrace. Because in conversations with other business owners, we all feel this icky feeling that if we are just selling through our videos or just having a business strategy or doing business for videos for marketing, we feel like a sellout. We actually had a conversation with another client where he literally used the word, I feel icky inside just thinking about creating videos just for the business. However, there is a balance that needs to be struck between all 3, and that's what we're going to show next.
So to bring order and coherence to the 3 different identities, we developed this identity triangle. And the order is very important because when we follow the order that we're going to show you next, these identities support each other instead of fighting each other.
So the first identity, and it's often our strongest identity, is the Educator. And from the Educator is where this desire to teach others and to show solutions to micro problems comes from. This is usually the place that sparks ideas for videos. And this could be either through conversations that we've had with our clients where we're solving problems, or we have a conversation with a friend, read a book, watch a movie, or something inspires us and we think, wow, this could be a good idea or a good video that I could create for my audience. This is a fantastic identity because otherwise we would have not started a business, right? An online education business. The problem with just relying with this identity to create videos is that we can easily fall into a trap. That's why we need to activate our second identity, which will act as a firewall to make sure that the videos that we create both serve our business and our creativity. And that second identity is
the business owner. And to show you how important it is that the business owner steps in at this particular moment in time in the creation process, we want to show you a quick example that we fell into with our business Simple Germany. So Simple Germany is all about helping people move to and settle in Germany. And when we say people, our ideal client was pretty much office workers, knowledge workers per se. And through a conversation that we had at a dinner party, actually, we got the idea to create a video, do more research on and create a video on helping or showing nurses how to move to Germany, because there's a massive demand and market for nurses in Germany, that we need more nurses from abroad. So we went down the rabbit hole, did the research, recorded the video, released the video, and in hindsight, we realized, why? Because we had nothing to offer nurses. So we called out to all of the nurses, kind of like saying, come, we can help you. But we had nothing to help you. We just shared this piece of information. Everyone else on our channel got rejected because it's like, wait, I'm not a nurse. You've been talking about software engineers and I don't know what professions before. So there was just this big mess that we created for ourselves.
Yeah, this disconnect. Also because nurses have a very specific path to move to Germany. And like you already mentioned, we had 0 offers to them. I feel like it's like we invited everyone to a party, right? Like, hey, nurses, come to my party. And there was no venue for the party, essentially, right?
So identity number 2, as a business owner, literally has the job to review the idea of the educator, whether this topic idea serves the business. So there's 3 questions ever since we realized this that we are asking ourselves, and that we also helped our client to identify his own structure. And those 3 questions are the following. Does it, the topic, solve a problem of our ideal client? Does it bring the viewer closer to our core offer? And is there a natural lead magnet opportunity to integrate into the video?
Now, if the first 2 are a hell yes, then we proceed with the next stage, which we're going to show you next. But if one of them is a no, then we just don't make the video. We cut it out. We have a hardcore no, and we step in with our business owner hat and say, okay, we're going to spend all this energy, all this time, for us also all this money, because we will need to send this video to our editor, to create a video that is not going to serve both our business and our actual clients or audience for that matter. And only after the educator and the business owner role within us, so to speak, has green-lighted the video, then do we proceed with our third activation or role, and that is the creator. So we leave the creator identity for last.
Because the creator is the natural executor. So as the creator steps in and knows that this is aligned to core business, core offer, core client, the creator in ourselves starts to outline the video. What is the point we want to bring across? What's the structure and the script pretty much?
Yeah, what are the stories that I want to sprinkle in and these kind of fun things. Also, the creator is the one that then at this stage, once we have the idea, it's been green-lighted by the business owner identity, then we proceed to actually search for titles and thumbnails. So we leave this stage for last. So we're not squeezing our idea into a title and thumbnail that belongs to someone else, but we have first the message that we know we want to share, and then we use the strategy of looking for outliers to get inspiration for titles and thumbnails. Because that strategy does work, right? Emulating what works, what people click on, but we leave this for last.
Now, of course, this all sounds nice and dandy, but in reality, not all of us have all 3 identities or roles equally represented. So, some of us are pulled more into the business owner corner, the other one's more in the educator, and the other one's more into the creator. And that is perfectly fine because that's what makes us unique and authentic. We believe what's crucially important is that it remains a triangle, that we have all three heads, that we are aware of all three heads, and we use them. Because the moment it becomes just a flat line with two ends, something is missing. And either you as a person, like our client, it becomes soul-sucking, or your business will suffer.
Following the order of this identity triangle ensures two crucial things. First, we don't produce empty content that only brings in views but no leads or customers. And second, it keeps YouTube a fun, creative output with a sprinkle of strategy and not the other way around.
But internalizing the identity triangle alone is only the first step in how we approach single YouTube videos. Because the ultimate goal is to create ongoing momentum for our entire channel in order to bring consistent warm leads to our business. So in this next video, we show you the system that got us from 10 leads per day to 100+ leads per day from our YouTube videos. See you there!